little get-together happened in Wisconsin last night. You may have heard something about it, where Bernie Sanders was in Madison, Wisconsin, and drew a crowd of nearly 10,000 people. 10,000 people. That is actually the largest crowd of his campaign thus far. Now, I said a lot of different things in this great speech. I watched it last night on YouTube. It was a fantastic speech. Some of the highlights, of course, is where he was slamming Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker over his battles of labor unions. So he said, quote, "When you deny the rights of workers to come together in collective bargaining, that is extremism. When you tell a woman that she cannot control her own body, that is extremism." The big money interests, Wall Street, corporate America, all of these guys have so much power that no president can defeat them, unless there is an organized grassroots movement making them an offer they can't refuse. Now, that's right there. That is a great thing to say, because what that means is that, look, it don't matter who you elect. We could elect Bernie Sanders, right? And there's only so much a president can do. But when you actually create a movement that changes, that really seeks to change not just the presidency. As I said, the president only has so much power to change things. But when you put in a progressive movement to help get money out of politics and actually be able to elect leaders and senators and congressmen who will actually represent the people, that's when you can actually have a progressive movement. And that's what Bernie Sanders is really calling for. It's not just him being a president. It's him not just being president, but getting a progressive Congress filled with actual liberals and people who actually believe in strengthening America through the different programs. The programs were, of course, free education, Medicare for all, doing something about student debt, raising the minimum wage. Those are the kind of things Bernie Sanders is calling for, but he can't do them by himself. So this is only the start of what he's calling for. Now back to his crowds. Sanders set the record for the largest crowd at the campaign by a 2016 candidate in either party. Hillary Clinton, the front runner of the Democratic Party, the big name. How many people does she draw for a rally? In New York City during her campaign kickoff, she drew half of what Bernie Sanders drew in New York, 5,500 people. And no Republican has drawn an organic crowd that's even close to what Bernie Sanders has consistently attracted on the campaign trail. For example, Donald Trump, you remember Donald Trump hired people to be in his crowd for like $50 a pop holding Trump signs. Trump had to hire people to show up to his rally. Ted Cruz in his kickoff speech, his kickoff rally, it was at Liberty University, and the crowd was forced to be there or they'd have to pay $10. Amazing, right? This is according to Jess McIntosh, spokeswoman for Emily's List. She says that those people at Liberty University show up for Ted Cruz weren't necessarily there by choice. She told Chris Hayes on MSNBC's March 24th program, students were mandated to be in attendance or they would be fined. Not as much as they would be fined for possessing R-rated movies or practicing witchcraft, but still, they had to pay money if they didn't want to see him. So it's like, okay, listen to boring-ass Ted Cruz or pay $10. I'd rather listen to Cruz than lose $10. That's like beer money, man. And then again, it is Liberty University, of course, started by Jerry Falwell, so obviously it's already a right-wing sort of institution. But nonetheless, it's not really organic support if you either have to hire people or threaten them with a fine just so that they show up to listen to you speak. Whereas opposed to Sanders, 10,000 people showed up. And it's not just 10,000 people in Madison. Also, in Drake University's auditorium, he drew about 1,000 people. In New Hampshire, and of course, the attendance was estimated at 5,000 during another stop in Minnesota. People are excited for Bernie Sanders. Unlike every other candidate, people are actually excited. He doesn't have to actually pay people to be up to his campaign stops. They show up, and oftentimes they pack the place. There were even reports of the stop in Madison where they had to put speakers outside because it was overflowing into the parking lot. That's how many people were there. Ironically as well, the only seats that were empty at the Sanders rally are the seats, the very expensive ones, the box seats. I'm telling you, man, Sanders is on fire, and there are a lot of people out there that are feeling the burn.